Are you hearing a lot of that from your constituents?
Very much, yes, very much. Of course, it's been a long winter, as you saw that, and now people want to come out, they want to bring their children out, and of course, both part of my ward, New Sudbury and Flower Mill, of course, there are some parks, but people think there's still not enough. There is room for one or more, and the maintenance, especially for those parks, of course, we need those, and definitely, people they've been wanting to come out.
How do people feel about the transit service in your area?
Transit service is not bad, but overall, from other wards, there's definitely a room to improve the transit services.
It's hard to compare when we compare, let's say, the Valley East area, the service level in the Valley East area with the service level in the high-density areas in town.
True.
It's hard to compare the service levels because there's just not the demand. And yet, there's a demand from certain portions of the population for increased service, but it's not really enough to increase the level of service because it's not cost effective. I think we're into a time where the city has gone through an awful lot of I guess pain trying to make sure that services were consistent throughout all of the different wards, and that there was a consistency of service and the level of service and the costs and everything. And the more I take a look at what we're doing, it's almost as if we've forgotten that we're a community of communities, and each community has such a unique needs. Like that, you've got the Flower Mill area in your ward, and then you've got the New Sudbury area. That's almost like comparing the Valley area, the Valcarran, Guillettville, McCrae Heights in Ward 5 with the Sudbury area around LaSalle and Notre Dame intersection that is in Ward 5. They're two different communities.
Yeah.
And when we sit at the table, we're supposed to take a look at the overall.
True, exactly. Yes, of course, at city council table, there are some issues which are ward specific, and then again there are more issues which are citywide. So of course, as a councillor, of course, you have to vote for many issues which are citywide. So of course, one way or the other, you are connected, you are in. For transit, like I said, there is definitely room for improvement. We can definitely improve. If you compare us with Toronto or bigger metros, there's room to improve our transit information services. We can have a better app for GPS or smartphones which can tell us how far the next bus is or those kind of things. And then there is some room for changing routes and then improving their schedule, and especially for weekend, and when I guess the time and toll is more. So I've been hearing lots of stuff, and definitely I can work with the Transit Commission, and of course by hearing people's feedback, there's, like I said, there's definitely room for improvement.
What's your strategy for staying connected with your constituents?
Everything. I go by cell phone, emails, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and many other.
So, and I guess when a councillor gets in, one of the primary roles and responsibilities is to make sure that when you're sitting at the table, you're speaking the will of the people in your ward.
True.
Any suggestions on how that can be accomplished? You were talking about the cans earlier.
Yes, of course. I can't emphasize enough for the importance of community action networks. Of course, that's the grassroots level where the public, people of the ward, they connect with each other and with the council or the city staff. So I've been attending CAN meetings in Ward 8 and Ward 12. I've been going to, because I live in New Sudbury, so I've been going to Fabio Bailey's CAN meetings, and then in Ward 12. Of course, that's the most important and most effective way to connect with people.
Yeah, and I think you're kind of you hit on something that we really have to do, and
Yes.
I think the interaction between the councillors who have wards that are bordering
Yes.
each other, that becomes a huge task, doesn't it? It's one of those things where you can't be an island, so the councillors in the wards that are on your boundary, on your borders,
True.
kind of, there's an overlap,
Exactly.
because it doesn't, okay, you've got one street, well, okay, one side is Ward 12, one side is
It
Ward
is,
11.
yeah.
It becomes, yes, that's the boundary, but we have to merge
True.
those communities.
The intersection of LaSalle, Barrytown, there are 3 wards there.
Right, I know. It's huge, and,
Yeah.
and even Ward 5 is kind of like in the middle, it's probably about 4 or 5 wards that are
Oh,
on
yeah.
boundaries of Ward
Exactly.
5. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, that type of challenge as well, going in the next little while. We, is there anything that we've missed touching on?
No, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to mention Fabio Bailey.
Right.
You know,
Sad.
it's really sad. He
You're a
was,
good friend.
doing-
You're a
yes,
good friend of yours.
Yeah, he was a family friend, a great friend. He was doing a pretty good job. He was, but too bad, you know, he couldn't get a second chance.
Yeah, no, it's
Very unfortunate.
Life definitely does
It
happen.
is.
Well, that's great. We're as I don't have to tell you, we're moving forward. We've got a number of months between now and October, but already we're at the end of April, and we've had 4 months of people who've been registered to
Yes.
in this election. So the next 5 or 6 months are going to just fly by.
Sure.
We're expecting that the interest in the municipal elections should be a lot greater this year because of the social media, because of the fact that there's a larger number of younger people who have a vested interest in the future, and a larger number of older baby boomers who have been investing in this community for so long, who want to now in their later stages of life have a place where they can still now enjoy the quality of life. It's going to be a really, really interesting
Definitely, it'll be
4
interesting
years.
for sure. Yeah.
Challenging, very interesting, a lot of things to consider, and doing it all with very little money.
It is, yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so I thank you for coming in.
Well,
and
please, thank you for having me.
Well, and we'll definitely look forward to you coming back
Well, please, I'll
several
be back.
times. So.
For sure,
yeah.
at least once. I'll definitely be back.
Oh yeah, because as the issues come up, we will we'll hope to see councillors or candidates coming in talking about specific ward-specific issues.
Sure.
We've got the development charges are being considered. I think this week there's a public session meeting for development charges. We've got the Second Avenue construction that's
Sure, yeah. I
is
saw
coming
that.
up. We've got a number of things that will continue to come to the top of the priority list, and they're going to be things that the current council won't be able to really deal with. They're going to have to, and we haven't even talked about the referendum and the store
Oh,
hours
yeah,
issues. I mean,
exactly.
that's a whole other
It is, yeah.
ballgame. And I know in particular in Ward 12, and the wards that are in those high commercial areas,
It is, yeah.
it's going to have a serious, significant impact, store hours.
Definitely.
So yeah, we're looking forward to an interesting campaign and having you back again. And just want to remind everyone that you are listening to the Learning Clinic on CKIU 96.7 FM. My guest this afternoon has been Ty Butt, who is running for the position of councillor in Ward 12. Ty will be back again during the year. And if you happen to have missed the entire interview, or if you want to share this with anybody else, the interview will be posted on thelearningclinic.ca, and I'm sure part of it or all of it will be linked from Ty's website, so
Sure.
that people will have a better chance of getting to know what the issues are and who Ty is. And again, I think the issues that Ty has talked about, that we've talked about today, they're issues that everybody has to address. And I think the more we can talk about them, the more we can share our feelings on them, then the more informed the voter's gonna be when they come to the ballot. So,
Definitely,
in
absolutely,
October.
yes.
So thanks for being with me. I just wanna remind everyone that at 1 o'clock, my next guest is gonna be Mike Blesky, who is running for the position of councilor in Ward 11. So stay tuned to the Learning Pack.
Thank you very much, Paul. Wonderful.